Welcome to Yaka Digital Network. Look at this straight paved road. Do the outer edges stay apart, or do they touch far away? That point where they meet is the secret to 3D depth on a flat page. We start by drafting the horizon line. This straight horizontal mark represents your exact eye level. On that line sits the vanishing point. Think of this dot as a magnet that will pull the entire drawing together. To build a 3D object, you begin with its flat, two-dimensional front face, like this simple square. Next, you draw orthogonal lines from the corners of that shape directly to the vanishing point. This pulls the object back into space. These three elements, the horizon line, the vanishing point, and the connecting orthogonal lines, give you the mechanics required to build a realistic 3D space. Drawing floating boxes is one step, but to place multiple objects in a room or street, you need the grid method. We draft lines radiating out from the vanishing point toward the viewer. By adding horizontal cross-sections that compress as they get further away, we establish a rigid, three-dimensional floor layout. Beginners often draw structures that seem to hover. To fix this floating object error, firmly attach the bottom edge of your front face directly to the grid squares. Once anchored, the building obeys the same rule. Diagonal lines pull from its corners straight back to the central magnet point. Avoid the leaning building error. When drafting depth, you might be tempted to slant your vertical walls inward. Do not do this. Vertical lines must stay perfectly straight up and down. Let's add a wooden market stall on the right side of the road. We draft the flat, two-dimensional front face first. Pause the video, point your finger at the screen, and determine exactly where the diagonal roofline of this stall should travel. It goes straight to the vanishing point. Every single depth line and a one-point perspective drawing travels to that exact same point. Look at this photograph of a school corridor. Notice how the physical pillars and the roofline perfectly align to a single target in the distance. The rules of perspective are the rules of human vision. This photograph of a cityscape shows an artist's technique called atmospheric perspective. This trick creates the feeling of distance through color and clarity independent of structural lines. In the foreground, objects like these trees appear with high contrast, dark colors, and sharp detail. As you look toward the background, the distant hills lose contrast. They become pale, blurry, and shift toward cool blue-gray tones. Structural lines build the physical geometry of your space. Atmospheric perspective provides the air that makes the environment feel real. Here is our completed Ugandan street scene, utilizing the anchored grid, perfectly vertical walls, and atmospheric perspective in the distant hills. To draft this yourself, follow the 4 core rules. 1. The horizon line is your eye level. 2. The vanishing point acts as a magnet for depth. 3. Vertical lines never lean. And 4. Use blur and blue tones for distance. Mastering the vanishing point gives you the exact mechanics needed to draw realistic buildings, streets, and landscapes. Grab a ruler and begin your first grid. Thank you for learning with Yaka Digital Network. For more classes and resources, visit us at www.yaka.cc.